had a dream I was in a rich neighborhood with big fancy-looking mansion homes. I was walking around with someone I seemed to know, but didn't know her well. She was pushing an empty stroller as we walked. She was in a hurry to get somewhere, so she left the stroller where it was and quickly walked off. I stood next to it, feeling like I shouldn't leave it alone. I noticed that the house across the street was on fire. Just a little flicker at first, but then it grew into a bigger fire as I watched. The house was open-faced, like a dollhouse. There were no exterior walls facing the street, and all the rooms were exposed, making everything visible and clear to the outside. It had been intentionally designed this way, as a sort of fashion trend for the rich. Small parts of each room were on fire. In one room, several people in their 20s were having a party. A few of them were sitting on a yellow couch covered in burned spots that would randomly rekindle into flames. The place looked messy, and the people inside seemed oblivious to the flames as they carried on, except for one guy who was trying to snuff it out with a towel, but half-heartedly, and just enough to squash the flame in front of him on the couch before he relaxed again. It seemed like the house catching on fire was a common ordeal. I was nervous about how fast it would spread, and I was worried for the sake of the empty stroller I was standing next to. By now, I wasn't entirely sure it was empty after all. I called the fire department in a panic, but I was met with a relaxed tone. This wasn't the first time they'd been called to the house. They showed up and sprayed water into the rooms, but they had no sense of urgency about it. The firemen didn't seem that fazed by the fire, and the people in the room didn't seem fazed with the water drenching them. Everyone was used to this, and they all acted like it was no big deal.